Psychopaths. Quite this topic. Very famous in media and in history. But what do we really know about psychopaths? So when I look up on around the internet stuff, people always associate psychopaths with the wrong things. I am here to clear that up. Okay, so what are psychopaths? Well, basically they are just, well, yeah, it's considered personality disorder. The antisocial personality disorder, which has, it, they tell who has it, he must have. I mean, really you can't tell because most psychopaths don't act like how they are. But they basically have impaired remorse, they have impaired empathy, egotistical, and have very, very low impulse control. But these are basically, see now, I did not mention, oh, they're violent, or, oh, they're murderers. Because that's something that psychopaths all have. So now, well, it's not, I'm not gonna lie and say that there's been a lot of psychopaths that have been infamous, but here's the thing. Well, so, it's actually been stated that most criminals are psychopaths, but they do suffer from a similar disorder that, makes them the way they are. And, some people who kill people just don't suffer from any kind of mental disorder, but just the judgment calls that they had that was incorrect, or some kind of desperate attempt to stop something. They just aren't psychopaths. Now, in Hollywood and like a lot of TV shows, psychopaths are always linked with murder and death, but like I said, they aren't. Which reminds me of Dexter, one of the most famous psychopathic characters. Dexter was only had murder urges not because he was a psychopath, but because he watched his mother be killed, and this traumatized him and had him some kind of lust for blood. And his therapist diagnosed him as a psychopath. Now here's interesting. Well, a therapist might give you, you have psychopathic traits. Oh, speaking of that, I forgot one thing, and they tend to lie a lot. I don't think all psychopaths are liars, but most of them are. And, well, now that, you cannot be diagnosed by a doctor as a psychopath. If they find out you have a psychopath, they won't mention it because it's not considered a psychopath. Like, when a judge might bring you up, say they're a psychopath, and they hear it than that, but you just can't be diagnosed as one, and you have to come up with it yourself. The problem with this is that some people just won't accept themselves as psychopaths, and some of them are just will share a lie about how they feel about things. It's just, I mean, yeah, maybe psychopaths a lot, maybe I would do awful things, but not all of them were criminals, not all of them were evil. Just some of them might come off as bad, but it's not really their fault per se. It's just they can't feel it. And I believe there is treatment for if you're a psychopath, but it's one of those disorders you can't cure. You can't get rid of. And you have to live with it. Luckily, having been a psychopath won't impair you. You can still function in the real world. Probably best to go into apologies or something, where you don't need remorse. And I think you may, because a lot of politicians are, in fact, psychopaths. Easy to be one when you don't have remorse. You don't feel bad for other people. And if you haven't figured out, Trevor is a psychopath. He's one of those murderous, evil, emotionless psychopaths. He had a horrible upbringing, like terrible upbringing. So it's not surprising he turned out the way he did. And he said everyone feels like, well, actually, there's some psychopaths that are, there's a low functioning, high functioning, and Trevor is low functioning, as in they don't have any impulse control. And it's pretty obvious that Trevor has no impulse control over his behavior. But there are some psychopaths that do have impulse control. It's not to say that they don't have impulse feelings, but they can just say no to it and not do it. Unlike me. Unfortunately, some psychopaths just don't wanna get treatment for their behaviors. So like, you find out they're a psychopath, they're like, oh no. I'm not gonna do anything about it, who cares? And then they end up being terrible people because they don't try to control their behavior. And then it just gets worse and worse. And if there's someone like me, who family doesn't really care about and pretends that you don't suffer from anything, but still get mad if you do in symptoms, then you have no choice but to try to fix it yourself. And that leads to a whole sort of problem. Especially when you can't actually truly get over it because you have no one to talk about or relieve anger with, or relieve your feelings with, and you just end up getting worse and worse. So, yeah. And just because someone's a psychopath, don't like throw them out or insult them just because you find out they're psychopaths. Now, I can't say for sure that all psychopaths are mean or some could be nice, but some can't help it. They have to put on a mask in order to, because psychopaths also can't develop relationships, like emotional relationships with people. And I don't want to be like, I don't want to just take my word for it because I'm not a doctor. I just look around the internet to see. But one of their symptoms is that they can't hold emotional relationships. I mean, there's no doubt that they can hold a relationship and that they can keep people around despite their disorder, but overall, they just have trouble with it. I don't know why all these people are in the way around the road. They're just idiots. I think the point I want to make this video is that psychopaths aren't terrible people. At least most of them aren't. You can still be a terrible person and not be a psychopath. So, because someone's a bad person, just because someone's a murderer, doesn't mean they're a psycho. Doesn't mean they're crazy or suffering some kind of mental disorder. And yes, if you can't go to a therapist, you will probably have to self-diagnose yourself as a psychopath. That means taking tests. Now, if there's anything that says that you have history of chemical activity, don't count that. You don't need to have criminal activity to be considered a psychopath. See, some of them are either intelligent enough to avoid criminal, or just aren't criminals. They aren't. another thing about psychopaths that their emotions. Now, this is probably the first thing I want to talk about, but psychopaths are defined by their lack of empathy, not their lack of emotions, or but yeah, their emotions are affected by this. Psychopaths can feel emotions. No matter what you've seen or heard, they can't feel emotions. They're just very shallow and very limited. They can get sad, but most of the time it's not. Okay, so let's say something's sad on TV and, or, I'm not gonna count like a TV show or something because most of the time some people don't find it sad. They're trying to find lame reasons why it's not sad, but for example, I'm going to use like a real life event. Like in recent shootings, they'll probably like, oh, that's too bad, but won't really react much to it. And I mean, it's not like they're like, oh, who cared about that? They just don't feel anything. And I want to point out that I can't say 100% for all psychopaths, but it's honestly kind of what I felt when I found about the shootings. I didn't really have any emotional reaction to it. Now, I'm not gonna self-diagnose myself. I think it's kind of lame, and calling myself a psychopath is kind of edgy. But I will say this: I never felt empathy for anyone. The only way I was able to feel bad for someone if I thought of myself in that position. It's my way of trying to feel bad for someone or relate to someone. I just don't have that kind of feeling. And I know anger is also a reason why someone might not have empathy. So again, no self-diagnosis here. When it comes to like sad stuff or horrible stuff on the internet, I see either makes me mad, say for the whole issue with net neutrality, or I just don't have any reaction to it. And it worries me a bit, but I don't. If I was a psychopath, I surely wouldn't be embarrassed about it. I will be proud and try to get other psychopaths not have to hide who they are because of how they're portrayed on TV or in Hollywood. I mean, I just hope that people at least have some kind of understanding that what you see in Hollywood just isn't true. And just, I mean, cars wasn't even done way too dramatically compared to how cars explode in real life. In fact, Grand Theft Auto's explosions are already more realistic than what you see on Hollywood. Not to say that Grand Theft Auto was really realistic. I don't know, but enough about me. Yeah. This video is not really just to say common beliefs about psychopaths, but also so people can start insulting psychopaths and just let them be. I mean, yes, somebody might not be proud of what they are, but some people just can't help it. Don't understand what they're doing is wrong. While some people might be proud of what they are and just ruin themselves just because they don't feel bad about what they're doing. I don't know. I just don't want people to think it's so badly about psychopaths focus on sociopaths. So they're similar in a boat. I can't exactly recall what the description they are, but sociopaths are more just internet of everything around them. While I mean they're very very similar, but they have there's differences. But I'm not here to talk about sociopaths. Just about psychopaths. So I hope this was an important lesson. I know this is actually long. It's actually needed to be really short, but there's a lot of information about these kind of people. And I'm gonna leave it off with this. Psychopaths are human. Their emotions are there. They're just locked up beneath all of hurt and sadness. And I really hope people can try to understand them and not treat them so poorly. So, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.